A week ago, I gave myself the challenge of using this keyboard exclusively for an entire week, and this is how it went. One of the first things you'll notice about this is that it is not only a split keyboard, it is a 40% keyboard, and it's staggered, which, unlike most normal keyboards, means that it's going to be straight up and down as opposed to the regular off to the side. Now, the next thing you're going to notice about this is you're wondering what this thing is. This is actually a trackpad for a mouse, and I forgot to do it, but you put the mouse buttons right here, and you can even solder in a scroll wheel, so you can have an entire keyboard and mouse built into one thing. And the fun doesn't stop there either. I didn't put them in because they were hitting the base of my palm when I was typing, but you can put encoders in here as well, knobs for volume control and media control and stuff like that. There's also this little LCD screen here, which if you know how to code, you can put images on there, little GIFs, all sorts of stuff like that. By default, it tells you if your caps lock is on, your num lock is on, it tells you the DPI and the sensitivity of the trackpad, and it's just a handy little thing. And now onto the actual review of the week. This was pretty difficult to get used to. This was not only my first 40% keyboard, my first staggered keyboard, and my first split keyboard, all at the same time. For typing, it's actually only took me a couple of days to get used to, and I could get some pretty decent words per minute on it. Nothing crazy, but pretty good. But getting used to the staggered for the bottom row, I was missing these letters a lot while I was typing. And for gaming, it was horrendous to get used to. Having to use these two only, or this one, and then setting up some other keybinds for reloading or crouching or whatever, it just, the years of muscle memory were broken, shattered, gone forever. The other thing that I had trouble with, I don't know if you can see this. This is completely flat. I've added little rubber feet to the bottom, and it is also massively tall. Well, in actuality, I guess it's about the same height as a regular keyboard, but this is angled and this is flat. So when you're trying to type on it, unless you have a wrist rest, you're going to be sitting like this, trying to reach all these keys. And even the little bit of angling that I was able to do with these wasn't cutting it. So my wrists hurt after using this for a while. And I'm the type of typer where I don't use a lot of numbers, I don't use the F row, I don't use a lot of modifiers. I pretty much just type, and I'll use comma, period, exclamation point, that kind of stuff. So setting up the layering on this was not too bad, especially since it has these already in there. Easy peasy. I had this set up for my first layer so I could get to the numbers. This is a spacebar. I had this one set up for my second layer, so exclamation points, at, etc., across the whole thing. This was my third layer, which I don't think I ever really used. This is the second space, and I set it to caps lock because I get excited in Discord a lot and like to type in all caps. So overall, this was for normal everyday stuff, not too bad as long as you get a wrist rest. It doesn't take that long to get used to, in all honesty. For gaming, I wouldn't recommend it though. But this, if you know how to solder, you've got like 80 extra bucks that you want to spend on a keyboard, I really recommend picking up this kit. It's definitely unique. I haven't seen anything similar to it really, and it's quite a conversation piece. Not a lot of people have seen anything like this, especially with the mouse pad, the LCD screen, split, staggered. It's got everything you could possibly think of. and I really enjoyed building it and using it. So thank you for coming.